Guys, are you telling me from that beep I just heard on my phone that I have not been live for this last 10 minutes? Well, I am so sorry because because the YouTube thing has me live, has had me live, and I just noticed a banner thing at the top saying, "Do you want to go live?" Yeah, I've been live. I promise I've recorded it. I'm not going to play it back for you because I'm just going to repeat myself now. I am so sorry about that. Yeah, I wasn't live. Blimey. That wasn't what I was going to say. I will continue going until I'm finished today, and I apologize for that. There are two buttons you have to press, one of them on OBS, one of them on YouTube, and I did press them both, but one apparently didn't take. So there you go. And I just told a great story. I'll tell it again. All right. Two things to catch up. The first, the schedule. This will be brief. I am going to be out of town next week, and I'm going to be in Boston the whole week recording or shooting the recording of an album. So I'll be busy and busy most of the time, but I am carving out the time to do both of my live streams. And I will... Okay, it looks like there's nobody here, but that's okay. I'll keep talking. I'll be doing both of the live streams at the usual time. I'll even remember to put the reservation in today so that it won't be added 2 minutes before the beginning of the live stream like today. Let me see. That was the first thing. Then I went on to announce that this Saturday there's going to be something unusual and different and special happening for my Patreon folks. And this is, I'm going to tell everybody about it because I hopefully want to entice a few more of you to come over to Patreon and be a supporter. Because when you do that, it means that I get paid a little bit for doing this. And that is helpful to me for fairly obvious reasons. So what's happening this Saturday that's unusual and different? There's been a lot of discussion about AI. And I apologize to anybody who's already heard this from Tuesday night because I mentioned it then. That was that on Saturday, this Saturday, we're going to be doing another discussion around the subject of AI and art. And before you say, not again, this is going to be different. This is going to be a battle royale, if you will, between America and the European countries. It's like the Ryder Cup, only not boring. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be having a prompt off, is what I'm calling it, using Adobe's Firefly. Adobe's Firefly is a different breed of AI art program. I got lucky and was invited to be a beta participant early. And I've had the program for a while and I've been using it and it's brilliant and it's a lot of fun. And I thought, you know, get a bunch of really smart folks together and let's see what we can come up with collectively as teams. And I thought that would be a laugh. So we've got an American team, which will probably consist of me because half of the Americans are over there, the other side of the Mississippi, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and they're not coming. I told Rick that he was my commandant and that I needed him there to marshal the troops, and he said, "No, you've got this one. I'm not interested." So he's not going to be there. So we'll be down one of our geniuses. So Europe, you should be feeling pretty plucky about this. But anyway, if you're American, you should come and fight for your country because we're going to see who makes the best picture. But I'll be judging it, so it doesn't really matter because I'll decide who wins, won't I? Anyway, that Saturday, if you're not a Patreon member, come and you'll see what we do because we won't just be doing that. We'll be doing other stuff too. We talk, we look at equipment, we discuss things you're getting ready to buy. I complain and whine and demonstrate and all that kind of stuff. And the thing about it is, it's on a Zoom call, so it's unlike this. I mean, you actually get to swear at me in private over the voice thing. You don't have to type it in. But there is something you do need to type in. And I need you to type in a number 1, 2, or 3. If you were here on Tuesday and you typed one of those numbers in response to the question I'm getting ready to ask, please feel free to do so again. It'll count. And if I have a moderator here, which it appears right now I do not, which is fine, no problem. I'll add up the numbers. There are 3 printers in my final choice, 3 3D printers, one of which I will be getting. I've narrowed it down to 3 on the basis of recommendations and what I have read and what I have seen. I'm going to very briefly tell you what they are, tell you what their number is, and then I would hugely appreciate it if you are okay. Everybody's already voted, so am I to understand that I actually was live earlier? Okay, I'm now super confused. So if I was live earlier, then this is really boring. Number 1, the Chiditech X-Smart 480. Prints everything, comes in a container, an enclosure. Chris uses them all the time over at the BBC. He builds all his stuff with them. He loves them, but he didn't recommend it. He just said I ought to look at it. Second one, number 2, Bamboo PIP 3D or P1P. $700, so it's $200 over budget, but it is enclosed, it prints everything. It's apparently 3 times faster than any other printer in existence, and nobody who has or plans to have or knows somebody who has one of these printers has complained about it. They seem to love it. Number 3, very popular, the Prusa i3 Mark III's, the build-it-yourself version. They give you the electrons and you put them together into a printer. It's 800, so it's 300 over budget, and if you get an enclosure, it's 500 over budget, because that's $200. That's the math. I'm good at math. That's number 3. And yeah, that was recommended by our own Bud Parrott, as well as several other people who think they are the best. Everybody I know who owns a Prusa says that is the best, except people that own the Bamboo. So there you go. 1, 2, or 3. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 3, 2. Okay. You can keep entering numbers if you wish, but you don't have to. Ryder Cup question mark asks Joseph. It's golf, Joseph. Golf. Stick, ball, heather, bracken, lost golf balls, swearing, rain and wind in Scotland. Yeah, golf. You should try it. I used to play golf. I was very good. Cheated a fair amount, but still fairly good. Let me see who's here, seeing as, gosh, what were you doing for half an hour? Just chatting amongst yourselves? It's just so embarrassing. But anyway, I'm over it. Lance is here. Hi, Baconmeister was worried, then he wasn't worried, then he was worried again. I'm not going to read the messages about me not being on the air, because that's embarrassing. So I finally showed up, and then I didn't say anything. And my friend Chris caught a weevil. That's brilliant. I'm going to give you something else you need to photograph with that 5X of yours that's more interesting than a weevil even. They're the ugliest, most unpleasant looking creatures I've ever seen. Now, I'm only partially edited this one, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. See if anybody knows what it is. Gosh, it looks good, doesn't it? Looks like it's getting ready to bite my head off. What do you think that is? I'll tell you in a second. I'll wait and see if anybody gets it. Yeah, David says it's good to be back in the normal time again. It sure is. I love the later evenings, but it's good to have everybody showing up on time. Excellent. Joseph in Detroit. I'm surprised he hasn't typed in the name of this little critter already. Yeah, it's a beauty, isn't it? We could even see it full screen. No, we can't. F probably ejects the OBS thing. I'll leave it up another minute while the rest of the votes come in. Oh, hang on. Yep. Termite. No, Mike, you're wrong. Stuart loves weevils. You need a t-shirt that says that, Stuart, and I will buy one of them. Curious. What's up? A damaged yellow jacket? No. No. Do you want to see a damaged computer chip? This is just for Curious Scientist because he understands computer chips. This is what a computer chip looks like if you cook it too long. It all gets broken up like this. Isn't it cool though? Yeah. I know Curious is enjoying that. This is probably like adult entertainment for him. Yeah, well there you go. Is anybody going to guess this correctly? A caterpillar? Not really. A butterfly? Gary? No. No. A woolly bear? No. Holy moly. Nobody gets it. Monarch, butterfly, caterpillar, caterpillar, caterpillar. Greetings, Jan. Some sort of insect. All right, Joseph, you win. You got it. It is some sort of an insect. It is an aphid gobbling ladybird larva. That's what these little stripy things that you see eating mouthfuls of salt and vinegar aphids. That's what these things look like. They are shocking looking, and they're just eating machines. That thing in the middle of the bottom where all the probes are, that's its mouth. And the things that look like Madonna's undergarments on the top of the head, I don't know what they are. Horns or laser beams? Yeah, I'm glad that we don't have these things full size. These are eyes, I believe. But it's these things I'm a bit worried about. I don't know what they are. They've got 4 of them. No, 6 of them. Oh, I guess they could be legs. Except they're all on its head. Yeah, I don't know what they are. Anyway, there you go. More 2s coming out. It's not a waxworm, Angie. Yes, Chris, you got it right, but you used my very same words, so that can't count. Goblin. Yeah, gobbling, eating. They eat aphids, and those eyes are in fact mental. I agree. So who else is here? And I will, gosh, you guys do a lot of typing. Ian's here from South Devon, from the Purbeck coast, I'll bet. Is that where it is? Is Purbeck in Devon? I think it is. Hembrodian's here from the north, where it's still dead of winter, I'm sure. Alistair's here. And Phil from Cali. How is it out there? My brother said there was a terrible storm there and he didn't have internet for a week. Ingolf, Germany. How are you, sir? And let me see who I missed. I missed Nils all the way from Norway. Where's the rest of the Norwegian contingent, Nils? Did you not all come in the same bus today? Joseph's here, we know that. David's here also. Good afternoon, Walter. Glad you made it from Washington. Susan, Mike, Gary, Angie, Joseph, and Jim from Washington State. I was speaking to somebody in Washington State last night. I wanted to tell you something about... I belong to a camera club, photography club. Does anybody want to see this any longer? Here's something equally disgusting that doesn't eat aphids. No, I'll tell you what, before I get to my story about the photography club, I want to get to something of an announcement. Some of you have wanted to know, hey, Al, what's going on with the Micromate? Well, it's been on hold, waiting for... I've actually been doing some testing with it, statically, without a microscope. But I've been waiting for a microscope to come so I can actually get the review finished and out to you. And it arrives today. Now, it's not a microscope. It's a pretend microscope. No, it's a real microscope, but you just wouldn't use it as a microscope. You'd use it as a a test bed for this. And that's what it is. It's an old microscope that probably doesn't have objectives associated with it, but it is going to be fine for the purposes of showing you how this works. And I have been testing it with a rig that I made, and I'll show you all that too. So this will be coming up very soon. It'll probably be the first thing I do as soon as I get back from Boston. I just wanted you to be aware of it. Now, I've been doing a whole lot of computer chip stuff, working with computer chips and coming up with some creative ways to photograph them. Like that one I was just showing Curious there. That's a chip that's actually part of the printed circuit board that tore off with the chip. But I've discovered that there are clever ways you can mount these things using Bondic and other techniques that help you to get some very unusual perspectives on them. Now, I'm going to do a separate talk and show you all about this, but I wanted to show you how many of these things I put together in the last few days. I discovered that if you actually take the chips that don't successfully uncap, that leave bits of the resin still on them, they still make for some very interesting pictures. And I'll share some of these with you next time we get together. But yeah, I was just working on it, and I thought I'd show it to you. You can even mount them using the Bondic. Look at this. You can mount them vertically. You probably can't see that, but if I hold it up to the thingamajig, you can. So using the Bondic, I mount it in such a way that I can photograph it from all kinds of unique angles, especially from something like that angle, like so. So you can really see three-dimensionally what you're talking about when you talk about a chip. The bits that are, well, I won't get into it. Yeah, it's fascinating, and we can do that next time. I just wanted to show it to you because I made this to hold my slides. Do you want me to show you how to do it? You don't want to see how to do it because it uses up a lot more wood than this. But it was fun to do. It was a project. What were we talking about? I was getting ready to tell you about oh, the photography club. I'll come to that in a minute. I'll come to that in a minute because that's gonna be a slowdown for a second. Somebody asked me a question. And again, I apologize if you were here on Tuesday. You might not want to see these pictures again, so I'll go through them quite quickly. But somebody asked me what got me into macro photography, and my potted response to that is, well, I've always been interested in it since I started doing it in my other profession. That's how I kind of got comfortable with a camera and everything. But there was a fairly long period of time after that I didn't do much photography. I didn't have time. And then I got into it through a strange avenue. And it involved the building of metallic coils. Now, this is part of a bad habit that we won't go into in great detail, but I used to be a user of tobacco. But I'm not anymore, and I quit by doing a thing called vaping, which is equally not good for you apparently, but yeah, there you go. That's what got me off the cigarettes, and in the process of doing that, I discovered that you could actually make your own equipment and that it was fun and interesting to do. So that's what I did. And I learned how to make these terribly simple little metal coils that are the thing that gets hot and causes the juice to vaporize. So I'm going to show you a couple of the pictures this is how I actually got started in macro photography. And you can't tell anybody this because it's kind of a secret thing. So this is just one of the testing beds that I'd use, and that's just a typical coil that I would make, very basic. I started out making very basic coils, just a single piece of wire that I polished or did whatever to make them look as pretty as I could. And over a period of time, I got more sophisticated with it and was making some more and more interesting types of wire coils. But the one thing that was glaringly obvious right from the beginning was I may know how to make interesting coils of wire, but I do not know how to photograph them. And my pictures were just shocking. They showed the coils okay, but compared to the things that people were showing online, they were just awful. So I made it my business to learn how to take pictures of close-up things. And when I say close-up, these are very, very small wires. I should point that out. This entire piece of wire is only about 2.5 millimeters wide. The actual gauge of the wire is about 44 to 48 gauge. That is very thin. It's invisible. Basically, you have to go by feel and use a microscope to wind it. Anyway, it's good fun. So I would make lots of these things. This has 10, 15, 18. That has 23 different pieces of wire in it for a full length, and a length would be about 30 centimeters long. So that's a lot of tedious work, but that's the kind of thing I like to do. So anyway, I had to figure out how to take better pictures, and that is exactly what I did. This is what they look like in the process of being made. You can see they're terribly skinny. This is a stack of 10 pieces of ribbon wrapped in wire. And it just took a lot of practice and some aptitude for fiddly things, and eventually I couldn't get any better at making the wire, but I did start to eventually get a little bit better at taking the photographs. And that led to, this was donkeys ago, and more than a decade ago. And this led to my photography and everything that's come since. I haven't photographed a coil in a long time, but that's where it started. So if you hear that, or if somebody says that, that's the proper picture there. Then now you know that it's true, that it was a bad habit that got me started in macro. I tried to do something creative there, didn't work, did it? So I've only got a couple more of these, and I might as well show. There gives you an idea of how little that wire is. Teensy weensy. Pretty though. And I think by the end, I was taking pictures that were good enough that a shop in Georgia has ginormous prints of my pictures all over their walls. There you go. There's a stereo thing for you to look at in the meantime. And that's one of those side-on chip shots I was telling you about that looks like some kind of a landscape, but it's not. It's just a chip from the side. Chips from the top, more chips from the top. Yeah, these were for something else, but I thought I'd show them to you. That's a chip from the side, metal base. That's the silicone, and that's all the business up there. That's all the circuit is up. Just a paint layer basically on top of that. There you go. It's fascinating stuff. Where was I? How's everybody doing? Is anybody still here? Let me pull my YouTube back over to the desk here. I'm going to skip all the bits about me not being here, and oh my goodness, Patrick has just tossed in 20 CHFs again. Thank you, Patrick. That's very generous of you, and that means you get to ask a question. I stopped doing everything else to answer your question, so just whenever you get ready, ask a question, I'll answer it. And I meant to look up how much a CHF was. I didn't know if it was more like a German mark, which was worth, I guess, nothing, or I don't know anything that's worth a lot. Yeah. So anyway, I'll look it up. It's from Switzerland, so it's probably worth something, I would imagine. Everybody's still guessing caterpillars. No, it's a ladybird. It's a ladybird before they turn into a beautiful red beetle. They're a vile black and yellow aphid-eating monster with cones growing out of its head. Yes, I don't use nitric acid to de-encapsulate my chips. I used to, and I've used all kinds of dangerous things, but I was looking for my chips. I don't know where I put them. I've got a big tin of chips, and I just use heat. I found that the right amount of heat and a twist at the right moment, and you get a completely clean chip. That box of not clean chips there is a tiny percentage of the ones I successfully get out. Older chips are much easier to harvest than the new ones. New ones, they use an epoxy that adheres so tight to the top of the chip, they're very hard to get off. But yeah, I do that quite a bit. CHF is at, oh my goodness, a CHF is about $1.10, so it's worth more than $1. Thank you so much, Patrick. That's very generous. I appreciate it. Blimey, that's fantastic. So it's worth probably about the same as £1 then. Yeah, brilliant. Harold, yes, you want me to take a look at... Oh, you must have asked an earlier question. Let me find you earlier. I'm reading them backwards. Those coil wires were probably made by the company. Yeah, they are Canthal. They're Canthal 1. A lot of them were. Not all of them. I used a lot of nickel as well. But the Canthal one, what would the company be? I can't remember. One company makes all the Canthal. It's a blended metal, isn't it? And they sell it to all these different companies. In fact, just chat amongst yourselves while I find... This will have the name of your... No, it doesn't. Forget about it. But yes, let me know what the name is. I know I'll know it when I hear it. Okay, so Joseph and Baconmeister are chatting about having a 2-foot rubber ant. Yeah. Okay, I'm not even going to ask why you have a 2-foot rubber ant. There's probably therapy for it though, if you ask the right person. I'm jumping around absolutely at random now. I'm going to the questions that have an orange tag on them, meaning something. I don't know what, but I'm going to those ones. So if you put at Allan Walls Photography on the thing you're writing, I'll come to it next. So doing that, I come to Joseph's comment, and he always puts my name in orange, so he's going to be talking a lot in the coming minutes. But he believes golf is a pagan sport, a celebration of the Norse god of thunder, and one finds a stormy day, climbs a hill, raises a symbolic hammer into the air, and bam. Yeah, that's not what it is. That's not what golf is. It would look that way to the outsider, but it's not. There's something else happens. Not exactly sure what. Okay, there's a way to double or triple the speed of many printers with a replacement controller. But if you've already got a machine with that sort of tech, go for it. That's Joseph again, because orange. And Baconmeister remembered the options from Tuesday's stream, so he's probably bored to tears. He was one of the first people to give me another 2 there. All right, so if you ask me a question, if you just complained about the fact that I wasn't there, then forget about it. I'm here now. But if you asked a question and I haven't answered it because it was from earlier, ask it again, because I don't want to read the bits where you say, well, he's not there. What happened to him? It makes me feel bad. So I'm going to go on down the thing. A botfly larva. No, it's not a botfly larva. Monarch butterfly caterpillar. You know, we do get monarchs here. I said we didn't, but we do. My next door neighbor told me that he has monarchs in his garden during the big migration, which is not, that's good to know. Yeah, Jan was apologizing for being a bit late. He didn't know that. Yeah, I was late too, very late. What was the other story? Did you hear the story? I don't think you did. You didn't hear the story about the my house cleaning tip, did you? Somebody just say yes or no. Did you hear the story about the Cadbury's chocolate egg house cleaning tip? Yes or no? Because if you didn't, I'm going to repeat it. All right. Let me see. Crazy eyes. Yes, indeed. Joseph's blown lots of chips from a short stint in failure analysis. Oh my goodness. Is that why you come to my my live streams? Is it part of your homework in failure analysis? Oh dear. That actually, that cooked chip I was showing you earlier is just they have a different kind of chip. I have got to find that tin. Hang on. This is crazy. I just put it in my drawer, but I can't find it. All right. There is a different kind of chip that when you look at it on the PCB, when it's stuck on the board, it's shiny on top. It's not covered in black epoxy. It's just shiny, like it's just silicone. And if you pry them off, it turns out that all the wires are coming into them from underneath. And that is what that is. That you can see the holes in the copper. That's where the wires are coming in, and they're connected with these little copper gold looking terminal things. And notice this is a lattice of fibers. That's what a PCB is made of, and that's what the green stuff is. So this is actually like the under skin of the chip, where it's glued onto the, or cemented onto the PCB. It's all very strange. I don't understand any of it. I rely on Curious to explain what's going on here. I just thought it was an interesting picture. So, waxworm. No, I don't know what that is even. Let me see. Yeah, fortunately, most of us are bigger than that lava, because I would be moving away if they... Oh, I know what I was going to show you. The microscope. I didn't get to show you this properly last time. And by the way, it still doesn't work. The reason it doesn't work is it's adapters. I'll show you. I'll make this quick. Let me turn the camera on first. It's like this. I think, yeah, you should be able to see that okay. So the camera is working, as you can tell, because you know, things were showing up on it. I'll show you again just as proof, so you know that wasn't me tricking you. So that's the slide. So the camera is working just fine. In fact, the picture's very nice. I just wanted to show you the surgical adapter and explain to you why I still can't do demonstrations under this thing. I got this beam splitter, this thing right here between the eyepiece part and the magnification part. This beam splitter allows you to maintain binocular vision, so you get depth perception. Now, it needs a special tube, and it's this articulating thing that is the tube that connects your camera to the microscope. The problem is, it was made, these were both made by two different companies in two different eras. The microscope was made way earlier than this surgical beam splitter, and that was made earlier than this camera tube. And the camera tube is newer, and it is made for a different kind of camera than the splitter was made for. And none of them were DSLRs or mirrorless cameras. So what we have here is the problem that I don't have the right separation from flange to sensor with any of my cameras, or with the microscope camera that Bud lent me this week. So I have to get a different kind of camera, or an adapter with a lens in it. These things cut your fingers. I'm trying to tighten it so my camera doesn't fall off. I could actually stand up and look at what I'm doing, but it's more fun to do it backwards like this. So that is the device, and it works beautifully. So I can have my camera wherever I want it. The problem is it's not parfocal, which means when I look through the eyepieces, I can't see squat, but you can see clearly through the camera. And you would say, well, why don't you just do what you're going to do through the camera? Everything's backwards and upside down, and it'll just drive you bonkers trying to do anything looking at the TV screen. I have to look through the eyepieces even to find the thing I'm looking at. Anyway, so it works, and now I just need to find one more piece. This is the bit that will get the image to form on this sensor at parfocal, which is not here. Does that make sense? Does anybody care? This is important because if you ever buy one of these, you'll want to know this. It'll come in handy. All right, enough of that. What else is on the list? I'm going to repeat an offer that I put out on Tuesday because nobody responded. If you know, if you own the camera that fits in this gorgeous case, tell me, and I will send you the case. This was one of those things that I found sitting on a shelf in a thrift shop. It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, and I don't say that lightly. That's the name of it. See, I can't do the upside down backwards thing. It's called Mega Gear, or Mega Gear. Oh, I just had a fright there for a second. No, Mega Gear by either MB or M8 or IIB. I don't know who makes it, but that's it. If you have a camera that has a big snout on it like that, and it's small, this is small. It's not this small, but you'll get an idea. So this is the base part. So it's a little bit bigger than one of these compact cameras, but something with a fixed lens on it. If you don't have the right camera, I won't give this to you, but I'll give this to you if you have a camera and you'd think, oh, that would be nice to have one of them. Then you can have it. It's so beautifully made. Everything fits together. It's got metal lining the holes there, and the snaps are beautiful. I bought it because I wanted to find a home for it, and if the first person that says, oh, that is for my pen, Olympus pen camera, then I'll send it to you. All right, that was that. And what else? Let me read some messages. Lee is here from wet and windy Wales. Wales is, it's always wet and windy. It was always wet and windy when I went there. I used to go there a lot when I was a young man. I used to hitchhike from Brighton up to Blaenau Festiniog. Try spelling that. That's all one word, Blaenau Festiniog. It's a slate mining town in the north of Wales, in Snowdonia, I suppose. What a lovely place. I can't believe that my parents let me hitchhike all the way up there. I mean, they encouraged me to go. They always seemed surprised when I came back. But things have changed quite a bit. But Blaenau Festiniog is a nice little town, if you don't have to spell the name. then it's impossible. Impossible. Nope, not a tapeworm, Jan. Where is Tring, J.A.? Tring. Should I know where that is? I don't know. I've never heard of Tring before. There's a fruit drink that you can get in the Bahamas called Ting, but it doesn't have an R in it. No, that's the Virgin Islands that you get Ting. Okay, forget about it. All right, so, Chris has been doing a lot of microscopy slides as well during the last few days, but with small bugs using PVC glue as mounting medium and crystals. Okay, well, I've been using all kinds of different mounting things, and I must say that the most interesting and exciting to me is Bondic, because the one thing that's different about Bondic than all these other liquid setting agents or adhesives that you can use to apply things to. The only thing I don't use this for is to put bugs on pins, because CA glue is better for that, in my opinion. But this stuff, you determine when it turns from liquid to solid. So if you put a blob on, I'll demonstrate this because it's worth it. Should I do it under the microscope? No, I'll probably end up getting it on the microscope. I'll use the other camera. Oh, I don't have a slide. I'll use this one. Bear with me. Here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little blob. Does anybody know a way to make that camera zoom in without me walking over there? I don't think so. Let me go do that. Is it working? Now, is there any part that... No, I don't think I'm going to be able to show it to you. There it is. It's just about as far away, isn't it? Okay, it'll do. My knuckles are the worse for wear after some woodworking I've been doing. All right, so here's the thing about Bondic. You put a blob of Bondic on your slide or whatever you're using, like that. All right, now, if you wait... is that in focus? Yeah, it is actually, surprisingly. If you wait any period of time, that is going to spread out like a blob of runny liquid. And then eventually you'll think that it's time to set it. So you'll put a little bit of UV light on it, and that's it. Now it's hard as a brick, and it'll be hard forever. You can't make it liquid again. I don't think. There's probably some way you can. But what I discovered was, if you do something like this, you put a blob down, and then set it, and then put another blob on top of it, like so, and you can set blobs one on top of another an inch off the slide. You wouldn't do that, but what I was doing was making these into ledges so that I could then rest the computer chip on the side of the mound that I made of plastic. And it turns out, as you get pretty comfortable with it, you can make almost any shape you want with these in 3 dimensions up off the surface of the slide. Make for some very interesting and dynamic mounts, that's all. And this stuff lasts forever. I mean, I bought 5 tubes because I was afraid I would run out. And I think all 5 of them are still full. I don't know how that's possible, but I use it almost every day. Good stuff. Let me see, I have a list. Let me look at the list. Oh, did I not tell you the story? Okay, I'm going to tell you the story. How much time do I have? 4 minutes. This is not a story. This is a tip. This is a new feature. And tell me I did not do this. Nope. Nope. I'm guessing I didn't. I'm guessing I didn't. And then there's a question about cameras, which I'll get to. Don't leave. If you ask a question, stick around because I'm going to answer them all. The householding tip. This is for single men. I feel sure I've told you this. And nobody said Lance said no, I haven't. Okay, all right. So here's the deal. I am a fancier of a confection called the Cadbury's chocolate egg. Not the large one that has a runny goo inside of it. The small ones that's crisp on the outside and contains a bolus of pure chocolate. Now you can only buy these at Easter, so you have to buy them in very large bags, like I do, and then they last most of the year. And if you're like me, you probably don't eat them during the day and wait till nighttime is the best time to do it while you're working at the computer. So inevitably, you will drop one between bag and mouth. This happens because of their shape and everything. And when you do, because of gravity and other things beyond your control, it will roll under your desk. They always roll under the desk. Now, the trick is you're going to have to remove it from under the desk, and you don't want to do that at night because there's other things under your desk. You don't want to put your hands under there. So during the day, you get your vacuum cleaner. And if you have a vacuum cleaner that spins the air around like a Dyson or a Shark. I have the Shark. It's a cheap Dyson that does the same thing. It whistles the air around in a vortex inside it. That will suck up the egg from under the desk, lickety-split, and it'll put it in the chamber that spins the air, and it'll spin the egg. And it makes... Have you ever heard a Thompson submachine gun go off? A kind of clack, clack, clack. Very fast, very loud. No? Trying to think of anything else that sounds like a helicopter, a fast helicopter. Yeah, or ball bearings in a blender, but that really is what it is. It's just chocolate bearings in a vacuum cleaner. The noise is deafening. I was going to demonstrate it, but it's too noisy. What you have to do is you have to take the thing apart, open the top, open the bottom, empty out the stuff, reach into the thing, remove the filter, and then find the egg and remove it. Ridiculous amount of work just to stop the noise. Turns out there's a better way to do it. You simply suck up another egg. Seriously, if you just put another egg on the floor and suck it up into the same vacuum cleaner while it's running, the two eggs annihilate one another in a collision of some type. It probably creates particles that scatter through the vacuum cleaner walls and out into space, probably, but the point is they shatter against one another and no longer make that horrible noise, and they get sucked into the chamber. That's a house cleaning tip. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do this every week because it might be too high powered for many people, but that's it. That's my first house cleaning tip. All right, what was I going to do? Answer questions. All right, so Peter. No. Oh, Peter's answering. Peter's got a question. At Allan. It looks like it is for this. What does? Okay, I'm missing something. This must have started earlier. Okay, we're talking about printers again. Yeah, okay. That's Chris saying that I don't know what they're talking about, something else. I don't think it is printers. All right, so Lee tried slabbing this week. Doing okay till I tried to save the image, then all went crazy. Internal error everywhere. Huh. Do you know what? I'll tell you what. If Lee, are you a member of Patreon? If you are, just go over there to Patreon, tell me about this problem, and I'll fix it with you. I mean, slabbing is not it's not that tricky, but there are a couple of settings you need to know about, and saving the image is one of them. If you don't do it right, it can overwrite other things, or it can get lost. So yeah, contact me over there, and if you're not on Patreon, try me at Discord, and I'll help you figure it out. Somebody at Discord can also help you figure it out if you just ask them over there. Isn't there a backwards and upside down mode in your camera? I have no idea. It's a Fuji X-T2, and I don't know how to operate it. It's too complicated. It's got buttons everywhere, and it's a black box to me. So I just plug it in and turn it on, and it's upside down and backwards. There you go. I'm learning to live with it. Does it need more or less extension to get it to par focality? It needs the mirrorless needs less distance. I've calculated it needs about 5 millimeters less, but the DSLR, of course, needs 15 millimeters more. And that is assuming that once I get it parfocal at the normal working distance of the objective lens, that it'll stay parfocal through the focal range. Of course, that's not certain. There is another problem too. I didn't mention this, but the eyepieces are an integral part of the color correction in this microscope. It's an incompletely corrected system in the body of the microscope. So the eyepieces are important, and you don't, of course, have them on the camera end. So that's going to be a quality issue. But anyway, I'm going to have to... There's a company called L&M or LM something or other, and they make these adapters. They've been making them for every camera, every microscope for donkeys, and they know exactly what they're doing, and they're really expensive. But I'm going to end up having to get one. So, first question comment was, I have seen some videos where you ask for tips about adapter rings. I ask for tips about adapter rings. I generally give tips about adapter rings, I think. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about MJKZZ. I've never bought adapter rings from them. I buy my rings from RAF Camera, from Amazon, has hugely expanded their line of adapter rings, and from WeMacro. They have a wonderful selection too. So yeah, I'm not, I wasn't aware that MJKZZ had them. Good to know. Thank you for that. Let me see. Hertfordshire is where you're from, Jay. Okay, all right. That explains it. Thanks. Peter Hall. It looks like it is for this. Oh, the camera. A Nikon D3400 with an 18-55. Ever ready leather camera case with battery access. Hang on. Where did I put it? I've lost it already. Oh, there it is. I don't think so. This camera is too big for this. Yep. Not even close. Not even close, I'm afraid. Good try. This is for something that has a fixed lens, not a removable lens. Camera's too big for this. Okay, good try. I'll ask a question, then I forget what it is you're answering. My bad. All right. So, anybody else got any ideas about that? Yep, come up with it, and I'll send it to you. Joseph. Talking to Harold. Yeah, I've got M25s to M42s, M26s to M42s. and I've got an M42 to an M77. Yeah, I've got that in both directions. When I order an adapter, I order 2 of them in both directions because I know that I'll one day come across something I need it for. So I have just boxes of adapters. It's very rare for me not to have an adapter that works. For this camera problem, it's a lens that I need. It's not an adapter. I have the adapters, just not the lens. In fact, I do have the lenses, but I would never be able to make it because I'm not a lens maker. And I wouldn't know what I was doing. All right. Let me see. I know there are a couple of other questions. Bondic. It would be great. The problem is that it would trap moisture and will likely cause the mounts to degrade. It also won't mix with water for water fleas. No. You wouldn't put anything. How do you know that? How do you know that it will trap water? And yeah, I don't know that it does. I don't know that it does that. It traps air. I'll tell you that. If you're too squeezy with the thing, it'll get air bubbles in it, and that did ruin a couple of my. Because I was using it as a lens on a really tiny chip. I put a blob on and looked through it. Yeah, I'll check that. I'll see what other people say about that, about the water thing. I've not heard that before. Interesting. Angie, you're eating mini eggs right now. God bless you, woman. After my own heart. Hara from Canada. Yes, welcome. Do I use or like the Laowa brand of macro lenses? Yes, I do like and do use Laowa. Now, on a completely different subject, because this is nothing to do with Laowa. This is, I am getting ready to evaluate a macro lens that is going to revolutionize extreme macro photography potentially. And I'm not telling you anything else about it except that this is something that will very likely blow your mind when you hear about it. It's that big a deal. And I have been given an opportunity to look at it and use it and experiment with it. And I'm going to do that. And you'll be among the first people in the universe to know what I think about it. And I can't tell you any more about it because they got these electrode things on my ankles. And yeah, so I've got to be very careful about what I say. Anyway. Yes, I do like them, and we're going to be doing lots of Laowa stuff this year with the wide angle and some other things. Yeah, excellent. Cameras and chocolate. Doesn't get any better than that, does it? Please don't waste chocolate eggs. I didn't waste it. I used it to stop that deafening noise. I'll buy another bag to make up for the one I threw away. Athens, Greece, Demetris, welcome. That's such a cool place to be from. You must enjoy saying that to people. Where are you from? I'm from Athens, Greece. We have an Athens in Alabama. I wouldn't tell anybody I was from there. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just in Alabama. It's Athens, Alabama. It doesn't have a Narcopolis or whatever it is you have over there. Doesn't have one of them. There's a Rome, Georgia as well. No Colosseum. Right, okay, enough of that. It could be the case for an Olympus Micro Four Thirds. Yeah, but which one? That's the thing. This was made for a specific camera, and it doesn't say anywhere on it what it is. You got to tell me which camera it is and convince me that you're right, and then I'll send it to you. So you got to get closer than that. All right. And you didn't need the case anyway, so there you go. Done deal. Fuji XT2. You guys are you're just messing with me, picking the two cameras that I have like right on hand. Gosh, you know what? It might be just about right. I never even thought to try it. Oh dear, this will be embarrassing if no, it's too long. The base is too long. You want to see the inside of a camera? There. So no, it's right. It's not correct. I've got to put this back on while I'm thinking about it. Otherwise, it'll get not well. I'll do it later. I don't want to waste your time. Okay, last questions. Okay, so Harold's retyping the question again. You want me to take a look at MJKZZ's macro rail. Yes, I have looked at and used their macro rail. A friend of mine sent it to me to do some work on it, and I had it for a little while, and it's beautiful. They are beautiful rails. I have one problem with them, and that is their provenance. My understanding is that most of the rails that they sell are repurposed industrial rails, and I don't know how they came to be repurposed, whether they were just at the end of their life or they'd been damaged or whatever. So I don't know, and therefore I would be reluctant to spend that kind of money on one. And I haven't been able to get a clear answer from the company on what the deal is. So that's the only reason that I don't use one, is because I don't have one. But they are a very competent shop, and I know the gentleman who owns the company from over on photomicrography.net, PMN. He's over there a lot. Smart guy. All right, and I will look at all of their line again, and I will talk about it, but it won't be next Thursday because I'm going to be distracted by the loud music in the studio. I might if I remember, but I'll definitely talk about it the week after. I'll leave myself a note. MJKZZ. I will actually talk to the owner and get some more information. Right, so where were we? Marilyn is saying hi from Ohio. And she wonders if I have tried photographing frozen flowers. No, not ever, not even thought about it. Why would you freeze flowers? You apparently have done that. So what is the appeal of it? I haven't. You know what, Marilyn, if you ask, if you speak to... Who is it who does this? The frozen water, the snow crystals photography? I'm blanking on his name. Don. Is it Don? Chris will know. No, not Chris. Stuart will know. Sorry, Stuart's probably gone to sleep by now. It's late over there. Stuart, who is it who does the snow photography? And is that somebody that Marilyn should talk to about frozen flowers? Our flowers never freeze over here because it's so hot, so I've never photographed them. We're doing flowers in the competition. Hey, has everybody turned in their picture for the competition? You know that this is the second to last day of the month. Body part. Body part. Take a picture of one now. Grab a camera, photograph your knee and put it in. You may win. And there is a lens on the line. Okay, you may win a lens. You need to photograph your body part or somebody else's, and yes, it needs to be human. No, it can't be rude. And you only have today and tomorrow. It cannot take 30 days to photograph a body part. Get on it, go to Discord and drop it off. Not the body part, the picture of the body part you can drop off too. They don't have to be the same body part. No, it can be different. Okay, where was I? It wasn't very helpful to Marilyn with that question about frozen flowers. It took me a little bit by surprise. Like, how would that come to be? I mean, I have frozen my car keys before when I put them in the freezer. Not sure why. But I wouldn't have thought to photograph them either. So there you go. So wherever you put the flowers in the freezer, I'm not sure I would bother photographing them, but let me know what you decide. Let me see. So that Marilyn's never going to come back and ask me another question because she thinks, oh, he's a smart Alec. His mother didn't box his ears enough when he was little. She did. My mother did box my ears enough when I was little. Believe me. You don't get to look like this just by clean living alone. All right. What a tease. Oh yeah, about the thing. Yeah, it is a tease. I wish I could tell you more, but I am excited about it. It's going to be special. I'm really looking forward to it. And Mike is reminding everybody to hit the thumbs up button before you leave, and you can do that. You can leave any time, but I'll keep talking until all the questions are answered. So thank you if you do hit the button, and thank you if you don't hit the button. Thank you for coming. And again, I'm sorry about the beginning, because I was going a mile a minute until I saw that little thing. Okay, Chris is in microscopy forums, talk about mounting mediums unless it's water soluble like PVC glue. A fresh moist specimen won't dry out, it'll rot. You know what? We're going to talk about this offline, Chris, because I have got a lot of ideas and thoughts about that, and I don't necessarily agree with everything I've read on other forums about these glues. There's a lot to it. Yeah, Dom, that's right, Dom, not Don. Well done, Alistair. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. All right. Yeah, so that would be the person. Stuart also chimed in, and Marilyn then comes back and says, oh, she's telling me, put my flowers in the water and then freeze them. I don't have flowers. They don't live around me, even for minutes. That's why I've never photographed one. I've photographed them in the wild before they die, but I can't bring them into the house. Freezing them would probably help keep them alive. All right, I'll try it. Can you show us a picture? How could you do that? Go to Discord and put one of your pictures if you haven't done so. Put a frozen flower over on Discord and tag me to look at it, and I'll go look at it. I promise, today. I'll be interested to see what they look like. Angie, oh, you do know frozen flowers. I guess that's what, if you live in England, you just have to get used to frozen flowers. Angie, have you ever done that with frozen flowers? Never heard of it. It might be a whole thing now. I might have to do a video on it if I like it. Okay. Oh, jeez. Stuart's got a video on it, and I have not seen it. Stuart, I'm sorry. You must think, oh, he didn't like my video. That's why he's not talking about it. No, I didn't see it. Oh dear. I'll go look at it. And that will be good. I'll learn, and I won't do a video on it, seeing as you've already done it. There's no point us both doing it. All right, excellent. And Marilyn's going to post a picture over there, and I will go look at it. Thank you for your understanding. No, Joseph, Van Gogh had his ear cut off, not boxed. Boxing your ears is a thing that Scottish mothers did to their wayward offspring. It's where you go whap like that on their ear, and it hurts. It's not cutting it off with a straight razor. That's what they did to Van Gogh, or he did to himself. I'm not really into... Was he an AI photographer, artist? I'm not sure. Probably not. All right. Yep, now everybody's piling on with the Don Dom thing. He's a nice chap. I've got his book, and he's a good photographer. Got some good ideas, and he's got a nice little career going. Good for him. Brilliant. Jim, you were late on this one. Not as late as I was. Don't worry about it. And Marilyn's going to get us a picture. Angie's done it, and it's very popular. We're either talking about the chocolate eggs or the frozen flowers. one or the other. Takes all kinds. Photography. I photograph a lot of flowers and generally only photograph an insect if it's crawling on one of the flowers. Butterflies are an exception. Joseph, well, good for you. Good for you. I mean, photograph what you want to photograph. You know, I was going to talk today about my photography club and a distinction that has been made by the membership, understandably, about the difference between pictures that are scientific and pictures that are artistic. And I have thought about this endlessly for the last couple of weeks because it was a contentious issue with people disagreeing quite vehemently about their view. I honestly cannot see a difference. Any photograph can be gorgeous, and any photograph can be scientific. I'm not sure I see that there's a distinction there. I looked at some, I don't know if you've ever seen confocal microscopy photographs. I would pull these up on PMN right now, but it would take me too long of tapping keys to get to it. I'll try to remember to do this next time. There's a guy posted some confocal microscopy images over there that will absolutely blow your mind. And you won't find a more scientific image, but you also won't find a more stunningly beautiful photograph. It's the photograph of the hind legs of a what is it? One of those weird little bugs that lanternfly. A lanternfly. They're jumpers, and it's the nymph anyway, or the nymph. Go over there, pmn.net, and look up lanternfly larva, and the pictures will be so impressive to you. Okay. Somebody mailed something to his girlfriend. He must have put it in a box or a jar. I don't know what you're talking about. You can say bye, Gary. I'll say bye if you're leaving. Graham, don't forget the Pazoom link. Yep, no, I already sent that out. The Pazoom link, no, I didn't. Okay, all right. I'll do it now. I'll do it right now. Pazoom, Saturday. At Pazoom, we're doing the war of Europe against America. Okay, in the Firefly War, we'll call it, and I will put the thing in there now, and I'll make sure that the link goes out as always. Thank you. Graham, have you got your table working? We want to see that on Saturday. I want to see that on Saturday. I want to see how it's all going. And look up Jerry Jones for frozen flowers. Jerry Jones. I will look up Jerry Jones, and I will look at her frozen flowers. Oh, and Kathleen Clemens. I'll do that too. I'm writing these down because you know who Zal Clemens is? You English people? I'll give you a minute to think who that might be. Kathleen Clemens. I'll look her up as well, Angie. So there are two people doing that. Zal Clemens. Nobody? He's the guitarist with the Alex Harvey band. Yeah, Saab, the sensational Alex Harvey band. He was the one that dressed like a clown. Yeah, skinny guy, great guitarist, great band. Alex Harvey died of a heart attack. They say it was a heart attack. 40 years ago, something like that. Great rock band though. That's sad remembering that. Now Chris wants a chocolate egg. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have a couple of chocolate eggs right after I get through talking here. All this talk of Cadbury's has got me going. A picture can be both. Yes, in fact, I think the picture should be both. If it's we're talking macro now, of course. It has to be. It has to be both. The Van Gogh ear. Okay, it's a controversial subject, says Allan, and it's been suggested he and a mate were drinking and having a mock sword fight. Well, I do that all the time. Almost every time I get thoroughly, I have a sword fight with somebody. Haven't lost any years yet. Okay, guys, it's time to dash off. Graham's going to be there Saturday too, so come and see his optical table set up with his new vertical rig. That is going to be interesting. And he wrapped it in newspaper. Who wrapped what in newspaper? Van Gogh and his ear? Fair enough. Kathleen Clemens' photographs are amazing. Is she related to Zal, though? That's the question. And I think we're at the end. Alistair, Saab, superb. Yes, sir. Vambo rules. Faith Healer, yeah. Love Faith Healer. Faith Healer, the intro to Faith Healer is the most iconic Scottish rock ever, I think. Yeah, I can hear it and feel it, yeah. All right. I think we're at the end of the road for the day. Oh, so Joseph knows Albert Richards, who's the pioneer of X-raying fine art. His stuff is amazing. His X-rays are all macros. There you go. You made my point. All right, I'm out of here, guys. Take care. And Jean-Pierre, I think you may be. It's good to see you or to hear from you again. We haven't talked in a long time. You're late though. We're finished. It's over. I was late, but now it's over. So I will see you guys next time. Next time it will be live from the bridge in Boston. I don't know what that's going to be like, but that's what it'll be. And Rami, I'm glad that you got the email response I sent to you. Good, I'm glad. Okay, everybody. See you later. Take care. Sorry about the beginning, as always, but I think everything else went fairly well. So take care, and I will see you guys in a few days, a week, 7 days, or Saturday. All right, take care. Goodbye.